Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. If you are not already aware, New Arcline has dropped a fantastic update for its early release, adding a new race and 2 new classes. I've already gotten a chance to play around with it, and it is really cool stuff. First and foremost, let me apologize. This video should have come out a couple of days ago because that's when the update actually released, but I've been laser focused on making my Rogue Trader content. Took a ton of time to get through that companions video, and so I was exhausted on making videos once that was done, and so this is coming out slightly late. But I did want to make sure you all got the information because New Arcline keeps looking better and better. I cannot wait for the full release of this game. I'm hoping we'll get it in 2025, but we might have to wait till 2026. We'll see how it goes. Regardless, I have heard the comments from you all over and over again that this game strongly reminds you of Arcanum, because New Arcline is all about folks who are on the side of tech and believe that technology is the future and what's going to save humanity, versus folks on the side of magic and who believe leaning into magic is what's really going to allow people to gain the power they need in order to improve their lives. And these two groups are absolutely going at it. And of course, this is a very similar premise to what you dealt with a lot in Arcanum. Yes, I absolutely do plan to circle back to our live stream of Arcanum. I had a bunch of fun with that game, so no question, I'm going to go back to it at some point, but we got a few other titles we got to get through first. But my intention is to get Arcanum finished prior to New Arcline coming out, so I can review it and have a understanding of what it did and what New Arcline has taken from it. All right, now with all that being said, let's get into what's new with New Arcline. Again, as I mentioned, they have added Dwarves. So you can choose the Dwarf race, which has its own unique base stats that strongly lean towards strength and constitution, basically all things physical. And that works fantastic with the new class that has been added, Hellfire Mage. So looks like in New Arcline, as opposed to other systems where all of your magic stats really revolve around either wisdom or charisma, seems like what stat your magic uses depends on what type of magic you're attempting to utilize. And Hellfire Mages focus specifically on strength. So the more strength you have, the more powerful your Hellfire magic is going to be. So this is actually perfect for dwarves, and I had an absolute blast, no pun intended, playing around with Hellfire Mage. It was really a lot of fun. They got spells where you can set yourself on fire to keep yourself from dying. It can improve your dodge. There's also a really cool hammer attack that can slam into multiple enemies. And New Arcline has an interesting system where you find scrolls out in the world, and when you use those scrolls, it's going to give you magic cards, and then you can combine those cards to create new magic spells. I'm not sure how this works as you get further into the game. How do you use these cards to get more powerful versions of certain spells, or if that's even a thing? But I will say, at first I thought this was going to be annoying as all hell, but the first time I tried to create a fire spell, I got Fireball. So I love it. This system works for me. Needless to say, Fireball is a ton of fun. You all know the drill. You pick an area, put as many enemies as possible in it, and then you just let a fireball rip. Really cool stuff. Now, in addition to that, they've also added in Steam Mechanic. Now, this class was already in the game for early access before, but it was only available on your party member Mick. You could not choose it for your own main character, but now it is available. Unfortunately, both of these classes are currently only available if you have chosen Dwarf as your race. It's not available for all races, but in the full release of the game, it will be available regardless of what race you choose. From what I saw, playing as a dwarf was a lot of fun. There's a ton of reactivity, not only as far as people reacting to you being a dwarf, but also when you're talking to other dwarfs. Sometimes you'll get a comment option basically making it clear like, hey, we have some kinship, and so you should treat me, or I should be able to speak to you in a certain manner. Really, really cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to what is going to be the reactivity for some of the other options. You all already know, if you've been following my New Arc Line content, I'm all about the giants. I'm absolutely going to play a giant who's focused on technology during my first run, and then I'll save magic for my second run. And I'm hoping the reactivity there will be as rich as I've seen it for dwarf. They added some additional things in early access as well. There's been a bunch of bug fixes and patches, so this is definitely the smoothest I've ever seen early access. And they gave us access to another party member. I didn't get deep enough in my playthrough to meet her, but I think Mortismo Gaming has a video up where he talks about her a little bit. I'm trying to save more of the content. I have not ever played all the way through the early access, because I'm just going to do that when we get full access to the game so that I can review it kind of fresh. But already, from what we're seeing, to me, it looks absolutely fantastic. If you didn't check out my impressions video, I'll leave a link below. But to briefly summarize, I think the game looks incredible. First and foremost, it looks very, very dark. Like right from the intro, you've got issues with people feeling desperation and to some degree blaming you. And it's just a really, really gritty and grounded experience. And so I think that's amazing. It feels distinctive from just about any other game that I've played. And yet at the same time, there's a real nice cool factor with New Arc Line. I played my first time as a diesel engineer, which means I was using diesel tech pistols, and it was so freaking cool pulling out these double pistols and using those shots. Mick's mechanics were really cool as well. He could basically fly up into the air and slam down on enemies. Just about all of the different attacks and things you can use, it just had a real wow factor to it. And so you constantly feel cool no matter what you're doing. There's a ton of usage of all the different skills that you have, so nothing feels useless on your person, at least from what I've seen thus far. Just a lot to like. A ton to like about New Arc Line. Can't wait for this game to come out, and you all already know once that happens, I will be all over it. But that is it for today. It's it for my video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you plan to play New Arc Line? Is there any particular content regarding the game that you would like to see? Looking forward to hearing your feedback, and as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.